This is the products that we're using here, just the base white directly out of the can. This is the glossifier with the fade buster in it. Again, this is stuff you just find right on the shelf at places like Walmart and Lowe's and other places like that, Home Depot, whatnot. But that's all we're using. It's about $5.82 a can, if I'm not mistaken. So not real expensive. So if this works, you can actually do it this way. Okay, so now with a nice white base on here, I've probably put on, 5 or 6 coats at least on here. Gotten some good coverage on there. Started out with the real light coats and then got them heavier and heavier. So now what we're going to do is we're going to let this completely dry up until it's ready to go. And then we're going to start taping it off and doing some experiments. Okay, now that the Plasti Dip is actually dried to the point where you can touch it, no problems at all. I've got it divided up fairly even. It's not exactly straight, but that's okay. First part here is going to be just base and clear. That's the base white Plasti Dip with a glossifier over it. The second one is going to be base plus Sharpie marker on it, and then the clear over top of that. The next one's going to be the base, Sharpie marker, and then we're going to also paint like a little design in here, and then clear it with the glossifier, and see how that goes. So that's our next step. Alright, this is the first part. Now I said this was just going to be base and clear. I went ahead and did test on this with the Sharpie on all three, just to see if with the base and the glossifier, if it started peeling and then had an issue here, it wasn't just an issue with the area that I painted it on, or I did the test on. I wanted all that to be fairly even, so that's going to be kind of a control. But this is the area that we're going to be looking at for just the base and clear. This one's going to be the base Sharpie and clear, and then we're going to clear all the way down it. And then this one here, as a matter of fact, we're probably going to put some more little lines on here just to be sure. Then this one here is going to be the same, only this area down here is going to be painted on a little bit. So we're going to get to that and show you what's up after that. By the way, notice because this is a rubberized coating, it was kind of making the marker skip around a little bit, so that's something we're going to have to be concerned with if this test goes good and we can actually do something like we're planning to. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Alright, got this thing all taped off and ready to go. I just use these little cloth shop towel type things just to protect from overspray. That's all I really want. I don't really care if it soaks through. It's not going to be sprayed that much on there. It's just going to be sprayed in this area. So it should be fine. Now let's go see what kind of paint we're going to use. Alright, the paint I decided to go with is this Rust-Oleum 2X. It's paint and primer all in one. It is like an ultra cover type of paint, which means it puts out a lot of color without putting out a lot of paint. Actually says on here, if you can read that, it says double cover. So basically what we're doing is we're just going to try to just spray a little bit of color here. I want it to be, uniform and all one color, but it doesn't have to be globbed on there. That's not what we're looking for. We're just looking to see if we can color the piece, then put the glossifier over it, and then see what happens to it. So let's go ahead and get that done. Alright, we've got our coverage on there with this lighting in here right now with the sun coming in. It's hard to see, but it's coated. It's all that I need. I don't need anything more than that. So all we're looking to do is, normally when you put paint over Plasti Dip, it no longer peels. It just cracks and makes a big mess. It's just really hard to get off. But will encapsulating the paint in between layers like that, is that going to make a difference with the glossifier over it? That's what we're here to find out. So we're going to go ahead and let this dry up a little while, and then we'll start doing the gloss layers. Alright, so this is how we're going to leave it for tonight. I'm going to let this dry overnight just to make sure there's no reactions that are weird with the Plasti or anything like that. So we've got the base and clear, which is just going to be this area. Like I said, I put the test on there just to make sure there's nothing funky with this. It's kind of like doubling up this test. I put the test with extra marks all over it, even put extra erasing. please subscribe. Anyways, got that. Plus I got the test on the Sharpie and the paint. So we're going to see how that works, see if it affects the peelability of this whole thing. And tomorrow we're going to lay down some of the clear and see how it goes. So what we're using is just out of the can base white, and out of the can we're talking spray cans that you can buy at like Walmart or wherever, Lowe's or wherever. And the glossifier. This is just little rattle cans that you guys can do all this stuff yourself. So let's see if this works, but we'll pick this up tomorrow and see how it goes. Alright, so it's the next day. This has all had plenty of time to cure and to dry as far as the paint goes. This is all nice and dry now. So what we're going to do is clear coat this with the glossifier. I did have some residue from the tape that I put on there to mask this line. So we're going to disregard this area here. That's not going to be part of the test. I'm not going to worry about what it looks like because I know that's going to show up underneath the clear. But I'm not really worried about that. All we're worried about, again, is it going to peel correctly? This should, maybe, probably not, but we're going to test that out. Alright, let's put the clear on there. Alright, so I've got 4 coats of base, the markings on here, the paint, and then 4 or 5 coats of clear. You can't really tell. I mean, it kind of makes it a little glossy. I mean, more than, I guess, not, because I didn't put any gloss up here, so you can't really see my reflection here, but you can a little bit here. So I guess it does make it a little glossy. It's just not like paint glossy, But we're going to go ahead and peel these. I'm going to put this on a stand so we can see that. The only problem is I had a little drip down here, little sag. But other than that, everything else came out good. So we can test it and see how this works. Alright, so we're going to start peeling. I'm going to peel these paint stripe or the tape stripes off first. First part's coming off just like you think it would. What it's designed to do. If you ever, let's say you paint your rims or something like that and it doesn't peel off, it means you just didn't put it on right, you didn't put it on enough. There's ways around that with dip remover and things like that. You still can get it off, it just takes a little bit more effort. As you see on here, the Sharpie doesn't seem to do anything to it. It's still got the same consistency, like a balloon. Rubber is what it ends up to be like, and it's just peeling up like normal. As you can see, I'm distorting the Sharpie. It's not stopping it from peeling at all. So when the question is, can you put something like a Sharpie marker over it and still peel it? Definitely. Doesn't affect it at all. Now comes the real test. Normally, when you put paint over Plasti, you have to chip it away. There's only this like little pieces come off, and it's real brittle, and it's really a pain in the butt, and it doesn't want to peel off at all. But with it being encapsulated like that, let's see what that does to it. Look at that. No problems at all. That's amazing. Like I said, normally that's an issue to get something off that's been painted. It doesn't want to come off at all. But if you encapsulate it and put a clear over top of it, you know, it's not bad at all. Look at that. And if you probably had the sprayable gallons that they sell at DYC, dipyourcar, dyc.com, it would probably even work even better, because you could lay on a much thicker coat than I was able to here with just the spray cans. Yeah, that makes a huge difference. And that's kind of a game changer when it comes to Plasti, because normally with Plasti Dip, you're kind of stuck with what you have. This opens up the door for a lot more customization. And make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we're going to be doing something really interesting here pretty soon, and it's all going to be based on Plasti Dip and stuff you can put on Plasti Dip. So until next time, we'll be seeing you.